Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. I'm Raven Maureen, and today I'm going to be sharing with you how to sew up McCall's 8516. This pattern right here, this is the new caftan pattern out of their summer collection. Now, as you guys may know, I do pull double duty working at Simplicity, so you can find this same exact video right over at the Simplicity channel, along with other how-to videos as well and other tutorials. But for my channel, go ahead, grab your pattern pieces, grab your fabric, and let's get into this pattern. All right, so you're gonna take pattern piece number 2, and on this pattern piece, you have a side with notches and a side that doesn't have any. And this also should have been interfaced. So on the unnotched side, go ahead and do a 5/8 stitch. And what you're gonna do is you are going to press and fold this up and give it a trim. Okay, then you'll grab pattern piece number 1, and as you can see, pattern piece number 1 has double notches. And make sure you match up those notches just like this. And you'll take this to your machine and stitch it at 5/8. So press it inward and then trim it down just a smidge. And once it's trimmed down like this, go ahead and press this onto itself like so. So now that we're back from our iron, we are going to edge stitch along this placket here on our machine. You'll complete all of these same steps for the other side of the placket. All right, so now that we have both plackets complete, go ahead and take this one and cross it over and do a basting stitch right here at the bottom. All right, so go ahead and take pattern piece number 3 that is interfaced. And as you can see, there's double notches here and double notches here, and then there's double notches along the bottom here. Matching those double notches, go ahead and pin and sew along this edge here at 5/8. All right, so pattern piece number 3 is attached at the bottom, and go ahead and take the uninterfaced pattern piece number 3 and fold this edge, the single notch edge, up by 1/2 inch. And then on the edges that have the double notches, we are going to pin it to this side, wrong side to right side, and we are going to match those notches and pin it and sew it down. All right, so we have gone ahead and we have stitched this down, and a lot of this is about trusting the process. So we are going to flip this back over and set this to the side, and along the notched edge of your pattern pieces for pattern piece number 4, go ahead and do 2 rows of basting stitches. Okay, so once you have gathered your rows, we are going to pin this right sides together, and we are going to sew along this edge at 5/8 at our machine. All right, and take this to your machine and sew at 5/8. All right, so once you have done the stitching here, press it towards this pattern piece number 3, and you should be able to comfortably fold this flap down. And what you're going to do is you are going to slip stitch this, and then you are going to stay stitch all the way down these sides here, all the way to the bottom edge right here, and you're going to do that on both sides. So now we're going to move on to our middle front band sections, which are pattern pieces number 5. Go ahead and stay stitch on the one side that has 2 notches, and then you'll attach the side that has just a single notch to the front of your caftan. Complete this step for both sides of your caftan. Okay. So now we're going to take pattern piece number 6, and on the side where there is just 1 notch, go ahead and stay stitch that side, and then we are going to attach it to pattern piece number 5. So matching your notches on your caftan, we are going to pin this together, right sides together, and then we'll take it to our machine and we will sew it down the same way we did pattern piece number 5, and serge it and press it as well. So at this point, this is how your front pieces should look. And so now we are going to move on to our back side. Okay, so go ahead and take pattern piece number 8 and stay stitch all the way down both sides, going towards the bottom hem. All right, so now we're gonna attach pattern piece number 9 to pattern piece number 8. So go ahead and stay stitch on the side that has 3 notches, and we are going to connect the side that has the double notches to pattern piece number 8. All right, and for pattern piece number 10, go ahead and stay stitch the side that has the single notch, and we are going to connect the side that has the 3 notches to pattern piece number 9. All right, so this is what the back should look like once everything is complete. So now you're gonna do right sides together with the front and the back, and you are going to pin along these edges and sew this up at 5/8 at your machine. All right, once you have connected the collar or the front to the back, go ahead and serge that edge and then stay stitch all the way around the collar, making sure that these shoulder seams are pressed towards the back. Moving on to pattern piece number 11, on the single notched edge of the uninterfaced neckband, go ahead and press that up and then give it a 3/8 trim. Now it's time to pin the interfaced neckband to your neck edge, clipping the garment neck edge where necessary. Go ahead and attach that, making sure you are matching up your dots and your notches as well. Okay, so now that your collar is attached, go ahead and press those seams towards the collar stand, and then we are going to take the uninterfaced collar and match it with all the dots, edges, notches, all that, and then we'll take it to our machine and we'll sew it down. So I've gone ahead and I've trimmed down this seam allowance at the very top of the collar band. So now I am going to fold this over and give it a really good press at my iron. And then I'm going to pin this in place so that way I can give it a nice, really clean top stitch finish. Once you have pressed your neckband, go ahead and pin it on the outside and edge stitch as far as you can to the edges of the neckband to get a really crisp finish. And this is the final result. Here's how your neckband should look. Now we are going to move on to our side band pieces. So now we're going to work on the side bands. So I have two different colors for mine. This will help differentiate what's going on the top and what's going underneath. So this is the interfaced side band, pattern piece number 7, and we are going to take this to our machine and sew across the top on 5/8. And then you're going to take this one, which is the facing, and you are going to also sew this at 5/8. So go ahead and press the seams open on both of them. You're going to pin this right sides together. All right, so take this to your machine and sew it at 5/8. Go ahead and press your seams towards the orange side, and then we are going to understitch this side, the orange side. So with pattern piece number 7, go ahead, once you've understitched it, press it where the understitched side is on the inside. So your orange is on the inside and your fashion fabric is showing on the outside. You should have marked a dot when you were sewing or when you were cutting. One side for me is orange, or one side for me is pink, and then the other side is white, just because my fabric has, you know, a bunch of colors in it. But you should have marked these dots, right? So what you're gonna do is you are going to open up these sides, because what you want to be able to do is stitch this down starting from that dot all the way to the bottom. And how you do that is opening this up like this, and the dot is on this side. So I'm going to match the dot over here. Now, if you're working on views B and C, you're going to take this all the way to another dot and make kind of like an open vent. But with view A, you're going straight to the bottom hem. And I highly recommend that you baste this first, just to make sure that everything lines up properly. And once you see that it's lined up properly, give it like an official 2.4 or 2.5 stitch length. But pin this as best as you can, because you're gonna be sewing and following the stitch line that you already made. But it is a little tricky because you want to make sure that this piece is flush on this side. And you'll see what I mean by that when we're all done with it. But go ahead and take this to your machine, follow that top stitch line, and sew at 5/8. Okay, so once you press it open and whatnot, it'll look like this. This is actually your armhole right here. And go ahead and baste the raw edge all the way around. And now we're gonna attach it to our caftan. So this is gonna feel tricky because you have like a completed armhole and then it's going into something that is open. So go ahead and turn your caftan inside out. Grab your sleeve piece and line up that shoulder seam to shoulder seam just like this. And then start going down one side. And you should see your notches matching up at this point. And then you're gonna pin this all the way to the bottom hem. Hey, Blue. And then you're gonna pick it up on the other side. Again, matching up that seam to this seam right here. And you're gonna hem it all the way to the bottom hem. I'm gonna start on the shoulder seam only because this is something that I don't really want to shift. I want it to have even sides. So I'm starting right here on this shoulder seam and I'm gonna sew this down at 5/8. Once you're done adding the sleeve, go ahead and do your buttons and your buttonholes and your final hem as well, and you're all set. All right, you guys, I want to thank you so much for watching this video. Now, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. And if you're not following me already, go ahead and follow me at Raven Maureen on Instagram, TikTok, and Threads. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.